Hey, I hope you're having an incredible day. Today I'm going to be running you through the part 2 of the website build. So this was a landscaping website that I created, and then if you were to click on free estimate, enter in your name, email, and phone number, the steps that will follow afterwards. So we've set up an SMS campaign using AI, and I'm going to be running you through the automation. It's just essentially a bunch of qualifying questions that will then be plugged into the CRM and go high level so that they can make better business decisions. So here's the setup. Essentially, it's a bunch of conversation AI bots. So if you were to add that, you would just come here, hit plus, search conversation AI, and then you would have one that you could add. So the basics is once that form gets submitted for a free estimate, there's an intro. So contact first name. This is Sam from Greenfield Landscaping. Thank you for expressing interest in our landscaping services. And then it is going to start with the first question. So it's going to say, can you tell me more about the type of landscaping services you're interested in? Are you looking for regular maintenance such as grass cutting, leaf removal, or more extensive landscaping projects? The channel is set to SMS, and then the timeout is set to 1 day. And the only way that you can proceed to the next step is if that question is answered. So if that condition is met. Otherwise, you time out, there's a follow-up AI. So what's going to happen is, hey, are you still there? There's going to be a follow-up that's asked with the timeout set to a week. So it waits a day, sees if anyone's answered. If it doesn't answer after a day, there's a follow-up, and then it's either going to time out after a week. After a week, it's going to bring them back to the follow-up bot and just essentially repeat that action as many times as possible. Or the prospect's going to respond, and then it is going to bring them back to the current step of the funnel that they're in. So it's really important also to throw in this little wait timer, time delay, when you're doing these looping actions. Otherwise you get into this infinite loop and your automation will fail. So important to know that. And all the questions are pertaining to the qualifying questions that the landscaping business is going to need. So service AI, what kind of services are you looking for? If the question is answered, okay, what kind of timeline are you looking into? And it's set up right now where if no condition is met as well, it'll just bring them back to the timeline question. So the whole goal is, let's say when they're asked the timeline, like, hey, when are you looking to start these landscaping services? And they answer back with, what are your hours of operation? It'll answer that question and then bring the conversation back to this main central question, which is, when are you looking to start your landscaping services? And once that question is answered, it will move on to the next. So it's, what services are you looking for? What is your timeline? What is your specific budget that you had in mind? How frequent are you looking for grass cutting? Are there any additional services that you are interested in regarding your landscaping needs? And concerns. Do you have any concerns, things you want to address before moving forward? Now this last step is a little different, where if they do have any concerns, they'll ask them, and then the question is answered, and then it'll ask them again, and then just essentially loop over and over until it times out. If it times out, that means all questions have been answered and the flow ends. And that's pretty much it. So the thing that's interesting here is that the follow-up AI is the same in every case. So just copy paste it once you have it once, and then you have an infinite looping sequence for an SMS campaign for anyone who signs up for a free estimate. As they go through this floor more and more, they populate into your CRM. And the really important thing to note here is that it's instant. So speed to lead is huge, and you want to be able to provide free estimates as fast as you can, but the reality is that you won't be able to every single time. And this AI bot really just answers those questions for you. Now, the only other thing that is left to set up would be to come into settings down here, and you can click on conversation AI, and at the start put it with suggestive. So when you are managing your contacts in here and you have your list and your list of conversations, it's going to populate your conversations and your responses here, right? See, I click AI bot is thinking. It's going to think of what to answer and then provide you with suggestions. And then based on the one that you click, you can then rate positive or negative, and if you give it a thumbs up, it then gets saved into the conversation AI under bot training. So all of the customized questions, what are the services that you offer, how much does it cost, and you can pre-populate that to start, and then as more and more people ask various questions, you would just populate them here, and eventually you have a database of all of your frequently asked questions, and you can just turn it into the autopilot and it'll send out messages automatically without the need for any intervention on your end. You can also set up the bot goals. Mine is just set to the general template that comes with it. So the only other thing that needs to be covered here is I went ahead into settings. So you come down here, you click settings, you go into the custom fields. I made a new folder called Greenfield Landscaping, and then within there I made a bunch of custom fields. So service needs, timeline, budget, frequency, which are all the steps of my AI agent. And then whenever someone answers the question in your campaign, you're going to update a contact field. You're going to add the field that you would need. So for this one, service, it's the service needs. And then you are going to tag it with message body, and we're just going to save the action. So whatever they reply when the question is answered, it is going to take that answer and save it to the contact field data for that and save it there. So that way when you are looking at each and every user that is in this campaign and how they responded, you will have all of that information. And that's pretty much it. Now you have a super robust AI conversational bot that can follow up on all of your free estimates for you. You essentially have a customer service rep that is built in, automated and automatic. So if you got some value out of this, please drop a subscribe and I'll catch you on the next one.